We're excited to have Matteo from 8 Sleep today. Massive day. Congratulations. Huge news. I got to update my ad reads. I'm always talking about the Pod 4 Ultra. It's the Pod 5 today.
Pod 5.
Congratulations.
What's going on?
And this is particularly huge for the podcasting industry because I've said this before, but in the high stakes world of professional sports, sleep is extremely important, but arguably a higher stakes world exists, technology podcasting. And you need to get your sleep if you're going to be podcasting 3-4 hours a day. And that's why we sleep on 8 Sleep.
You be proud. I legitimately get angry at John when his sleep scores are down. It's
terrible.
Like,
it's tearing us apart.
I take this podcasting game very seriously.
Very seriously.
And I take John's sleep very seriously. And
you should.
Jordy's been smoking me. But yeah, give us the update. Explain to us how the launch is going. What's the overview? Break it down for us.
Yeah, of course. I mean, first of all, at 8 Sleep, we develop technology to improve your sleep. That's literally what we do. And the way we do it is by focusing on controlling and personalizing all the environmental factors. Mm-hmm. We started with temperature in the cover, which is a cover that you can install on top of your mattress. It tracks everything about your sleep and health, and then it changes temperature to give you better sleep. And then we took temperature to the next level now with Pod 5. So you also get a blanket and you can sleep in this sort of microclimate. And guys, I know I'm biased because I'm the CEO of 8 Sleep, but it's freaking cool. Yeah. I have been using this product for 9 months. And I have given it to some friends or people inside the company, and they all love it. Doesn't matter if you like it cold or warm.
Anecdote: John's wife messaged John this morning when she saw the launch, and she was like just sending exclamation points, like
we have to get one.
Yeah, she will love it. Do you know if she sleeps hot or cold?
Extremely. She's cold. She wants it to be a blazing fire,
an inferno,
a
cocoon.
Yeah, so she will love it because now she will be surrounded by temperature, cold temperature everywhere. It's like going in a freezer and closing the freezer, and you just sleep there.
And I like my side freezing cold. I'm -10 and she's +10 every night. But she says, you can tell him I love him for inventing this. It's really like the greatest upgrade of the entire year to our house. It's fantastic.
That's awesome. And so temperature is one.
Yeah.
Right. And we tackled that biggest factor impacting your sleep outside sleep medical disorders. So there was plenty of evidence. We didn't reinvent the wheel. We were just the first ones to really commercialize a consumer product that would do something that it was already proven to work. And then we got into elevation. And so we introduced the base. The base goes underneath your mattress and it raises your head if you're snoring.
Yep.
And so you will see a drop in your snoring by up to 45%.
Wow.
If you have problems of circulation with your legs, we raise your legs.
Oh, okay.
And the most important thing that very few people know, I don't sleep flat anymore. Meaning sleeping flat is from the 80s. You need to you need to sleep in a position where you raise a little bit the head, a little bit your feet, and it takes away any sort of pressure on your back.
Yep. Is snoring actually bad for you, or is it just annoying to whoever's sleeping next to you?
Sorry, say that again.
Is snoring actually something you should be worried about, or something you should be trying to mitigate from like a health perspective, or like a personal sleep quality perspective, or is it just annoying to whoever's sleeping in the bed next to you?
No, it's negative for you. It negatively impacts your sleep architecture, and it can limit the amount of oxygen that gets to the brain. Because if you think the real true problem of sleep apnea, which is a form of extreme snoring, if you will, is that when you have these episodes of snoring or sleep apnea, less oxygen gets to the brain. And so if your sleep apnea is very strong, the reason why you feel very tired in the morning is because you kept lacking oxygen in your brain during the whole night, and your brain cannot rest. And so mitigating snoring is very important for your own health, and is important for your partner so you don't bother them with your noise.
Yeah.
Now, the latest base also comes with a speaker now. And the speaker plays soundscapes that you can play to fall asleep, to stay asleep. And then we have this partnership with Uberman, where we are introducing an SDR, so non-sleep deep rest, is a sort of meditation and breathing. You can play that with the voice of Andrew, and then you just fall asleep and you sleep like a baby.
SDR, I think sales development representative for Andrew Huberman is just there pitching you on sleep. Like, I've talked to a lot of people that are considering sleep, and I think it'd be really great for you tonight.
Yeah, I think there's an opportunity to do an ad-supported 8 Sleep
with the speaker
ad-supported now, and we'll record ads.
Yeah, we'll record ads, and you can fall asleep to the sound of us just reading ads constantly.
And even at 1 a.m., psst, hey, have you heard about Ramp?
Have you heard about Ramp?
Exactly. I can start playing ads for Ramp. No, I'm joking. Yeah.
Well, if they already have an 8 Sleep, we don't need to do an 8 Sleep ad again.
Yeah, maybe an Easter egg.
Maybe
when you wake up certain days, there is a Ramp ad. By the way, my Tesla, sometimes I start, I go in the Tesla, I use the radio very few times, but then there are ads on my Tesla when I want to use the radio. So
wow.
Everything's ad supported now.
You got to upgrade to the ad-free version of your car. It's a dark, we've entered in. That's a very future. Black mirror, but welcome
to the future. It's going to be cheaper because it's going to be ad supported. What else have you looked at in the sleep world? I know that you've launched some adjacent products. I'm thinking you're in blankets. Are we going to see pillows? Are we seeing, supplements and other clothing and pajamas and all sorts of different things? Like, how do you view the sleep market, and what have you gone after first, and what do you see on the horizon?
Or even like blackout curtains, right?
Oh,
if
yeah.
you try to black out, trying to black out your room is there's solutions.
Yeah. What do you like? What have you already done, and what's on the roadmap?
Yeah. So if we go back to the beginning, right, we use AI and technology to improve your sleep. So anything that can improve your sleep is something we are going to do sooner or later.
Cool.
Where there is technology is the top priority. There could be other products that maybe they don't have embedded technology, but that we develop based on our data, because we are becoming one of the largest sleep labs in the world. So supplements, we launch a first line of supplements that we develop with Peter Attia. And the reason is we have all this data. We know what works, what doesn't work. Sometimes you read people saying, should I take melatonin? Should I take magnesium? Yep. We have run clinical studies. But from a technological standpoint, I would say the two coolest buckets to me are, one is environmental control, and the second is body scanning. And I'll tell you about both. So environmental control is, today's temperature with the blanket and the cover, elevation and sound. Then you should imagine that, there will be more thermoregulated products because temperature is the killer feature. But I want to control air, oxygen, light, noise, sound, sense, everything. So everything that we can optimize. Because the key difference between us and the wearables is wearables do a decent job at tracking stuff, but they don't do anything for you. Our job at 8 Sleep is don't wear anything, and we are going to do the work for you.
Yeah.
And so this is the environment. Then doesn't matter how long you sleep, it's still a lot of time. And so the goal here is to work on body scanning technologies where we can scan your body every single night to detect if you are developing certain health conditions before you even know.
Crazy.
And that is part of our R&D.
Have you been able to look across the anonymized sleep data and noticed any interesting trends? I'm thinking right before tax day, or how do people sleep before Christmas? Or is everyone excited? Anything that you can tell us about how the global sleep community trends one night or another? Do people sleep better during winter when it's cold, or summer? I don't even know. Have you learned anything from the aggregated data, anonymized, of course?
Yeah. We have a look at some of this stuff. Again, as you said, aggregated, anonymized. So obviously we don't know anything about an individual. But like, for example, I think the city where the town where they sleep the best is in northern Australia. We have seen people sleeping more after COVID, meaning after COVID, the trend generally changed. Women tend to sleep longer than men. During the election day, people went to sleep like a couple of hours later.
Oh, wow.
And then we can start tie it or connect it to certain specific events, right? Even sport, like Super Bowl, that kind of thing, which is pretty cool. Or you see it if there are bad days in New York and is a snow day in New York, all that kind of thing. And it's pretty interesting to see these patterns. This in terms of, I would say, consumer behavior. Then with AI, our models are reaching a point where are smarter than us, and they start connecting the dots of things that we don't even medically know. Meaning, let's say that you join a sleep, and let's say you share that you have certain health conditions. Our models start understanding that there could be, based on these parameters, you might have a certain likelihood to develop a certain health condition that could be completely disconnected from sleep. It could be diabetes, it could be Parkinson, it could be a neurological disease. But by correlating all these aggregated amount of data, hundreds of millions of nights of sleep, we can predict the future of health.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta ask, how did the Charles Leclerc partnership come together? Was that a 2+ year kind of,
let me start with a cool story, and then I'll tell you. But so the day we sign, so I go to Monaco for the day we sign, and I'm at the hotel, and we need to go to this place where we sign, and then we do the first photo shoot. And so Charles comes to pick me up, and he comes in a Ferrari because he drives a Ferrari. And so I say, look, man, you're the best Uber driver I ever had, by far.
Being driven around Monaco by Charles is a good.
It's fantastic.
Everybody should do it once in their life,
Oh yeah. The interesting thing is Charles bought the pod 2 years before the partnership. We didn't even know.
That's always the best.
It's always the best. And so when we got connected 2 years later, he already knew about us. He loves the product. And when I pitch him our health vision, health is very important for him. And he's like an AI geek. You would never expect that. But he reads everything about AI. So when we meet, we never talk about Formula One because I don't want to bother him talking about work. And we just talk about AI and health.
Very cool.
And so when we met, we had dinner. It was actually before the F1 GP in Miami last year, and it was a Thursday night. And before the end of the dinner, we said, "Look, we want to work together. We'll figure it out. I'll do some steps to. I mean, I'm sure you have a decent cost, and you will make some steps towards me because I'm a startup and I don't have money." And within a month, the deal was done.
Wow. Quick.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Well, yeah, I get, I'm not excited if I have a bad night's sleep and I got to go podcast for, 4 hours, but I can't imagine getting a bad night's sleep and then needing to go race around
against Lewis
track
Hamilton.
at, hundreds of kilometers an hour. So
brutal.
Makes sense. Well, congratulations to you and the team. It's an amazing milestone, and we are, stoked to be partners.
Proud to be partners.
Yeah.
Of course. You guys are doing a great job. So I'm a big supporter, and thank you for everything.
Thank you so much.
You're the man.
We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for coming on. Talk soon.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.